Welcome to our intensive guide on mastering IELTS reading. Whether you're preparing for the academic or the general test, this video is going to help you to be equipped with strategies and techniques for the exam that you need to get that great band score you're looking for. My name's Matthew, an English language coach. Over 15 years as a teacher, helping people to learn English. And these are the best techniques, tips, and tricks that I've come across to help you get that great score in the exam. So first of all, let's go through the steps of the reading exam. The reading test lasts 60 minutes and consists of 40 questions split into 3 different sections. Small note on whether you're taking the academic or the general test. The academic test will focus on academic topics and the general test will include passages more relevant to daily life. The first thing to be really aware of is your time management. One of the first challenges that test takers face is being able to manage the time to make sure that they accomplish as much of the test as possible to give them the best opportunity to get the best marks possible in the IELTS reading section. So make sure that you download reading practices and you go through them step by step and time yourself to make sure that you're able to complete the tasks within the designated time. Time yourself and make sure that you're completing each of the reading tasks and answering all the questions to be able to get the best score possible. So in this video, we're going to cover everything from the different question types that you're going to face to developing tailored strategies to be able to smash this exam and get incredible results. In this video, we're going to begin by examining the 11 question types you'll encounter in the IELTS reading test. Understanding each type is crucial for success. Let's run through the 11 styles of reading that you're going to come across in the IELTS exam. Multiple choice. In this question type, you're going to get the option of 3 or 4 answers to the question. Read the question carefully, identify your keywords, and scan the passage to find the relevant information. Eliminate any incorrect options that you discover in the question guide. This will increase your chances to be able to identify the correct answer. Second option is true, false, not given. You'll be given a statement and you need to decide whether the information in the passage agrees with this statement. You're going to write true. If you think it disagrees, you're going to write false. And if there's no information given, you're going to write not given. If you can't find the information that seems to be addressing the question, then you're going to rely on going for not given. Similar to this exercise is yes, no, not given, which is another style of reading, which is similar to the 1-4. Just follow the same approach for this one. Number 4 is matching information. You'll be given a list of statements or questions and a list of information sources. You need to match each statement or question to the correct information source. Number 5 is matching headlines. You'll be given a list of headlines, usually in the form of short summaries or sentences. You'll need to match each heading to the correct paragraph or section in the passage. Number 6, matching features. You'll be given a list of options and a list of features from the text. You need to match each option with the correct feature. Number 7, matching sentence endings. Possible sentences that could be the beginning of these sentences. You need to match the sentences endings with the beginning of the sentences. Read the sentences really carefully and see if they can go together based on context, based on grammar, and based on key words. Then number 8, we have sentence completion. Sentence completion, you'll be given a sentence with a gap and a set of words to choose from. You need to choose the correct word to complete the sentence. Number 9 is summary, note, table, flowchart completion. You'll be given one of these above, and you'll have to fill in the gaps with a list of words and phrases to choose from. You need to choose the correct words or phrases to complete the summary. Number 10, almost there. Number 10 is a diagram label completion. You'll be given a diagram with the labels missing and a list of labels to choose from. Study carefully each diagram and the context that it has carefully, and then complete the labels. Number 11, finally, we have short answer questions. You'll be asked to answer questions with short answers, usually 1 to 3 words or a number. Perfect. We've covered now the 11 possible reading styles, and now we'll go on to discuss the best techniques and practices for you to prepare to get the best band score possible in your IELTS exam. Let's start by discussing the approaches that you can take to the passages. There's 2 main strategies. that I would suggest. Some people suggest reading the question first, and some people suggest reading the passage first. My personal suggestion, you should try both and see which you think is better, but I certainly recommend the question first approach. This will help you to have in mind exactly what it is that you're looking for when you read the text. Since the exam is time limited, you are going to have to be aware of your time. So to make the most of that time, I recommend you read the questions first and then you read the passage, looking for the answers to those questions. It's more like a treasure hunt than it is like a relaxed day at the beach where you can just read through the story. The idea of the text and the questions is that you're able to discover the answers to the text. So reading with the questions in mind at first is going to activate your brain to be alert to the type of words, language, expressions that you're going to need to find within the text already. So I definitely recommend this approach. Another little tip that you can work on is your speed reading. Since it is, again, a timed exam, focusing on being able to read quickly is going to be a benefit to you in the ability to go through the questions and the text and search for key information. So if you can read quickly, it's going to give you a big advantage in this exam, saving you time and allowing you the time to find the correct answers to these questions. You can learn to speed read in under 10 minutes. Speed reading will help you to speed up your reading and also help you to grow in your understanding or comprehension of what you are reading. The next technique or the next tip that I can give you is to pay attention while you're reading the questions at the beginning of the exam to synonyms. Go through the questions, underlining any keywords or phrases that stand out to you that you think are essential to the question, and also pay attention to them by underlining them, underscoring them, or highlighting them. This will allow your brain to be extremely attentive to these words or phrases as you go to read the text. Make sure that while you're reading the text, that what you can be looking for is synonyms. What are synonyms? Are words that have the same or similar meanings. For example, simple example, if the question has a question about how big was the building, you would notice the word big being an identifier, and you would then look in the text to find any synonyms, which would be an example, large. The large manufacturing factory was demolished. You're going to see this word large and you're going to see that it could be connected to this question about big. Make sure you look for more than just these simple techniques and tips, but they are little indicators. Remember, when you're reading, I like to say you're being like a detective. You are looking for little clues in all the different areas of your knowledge to be able to build up an answer, to build up a case. And this allows you to then present the evidence to the examiner. You're looking for a little clue here and there, give you more confidence in your answer, especially for questions that aren't clear to you after the first or even second reading of the text. So by identifying synonyms in the text, you're going to be able to identify the relevant information and hone in on the questions connected with the text more accurately. How to build up your understanding of synonyms or antonyms, which are opposite words that mean the opposite. You want to pay attention to them also. How to build up these skills. Then I would recommend to you to study using flashcards. Study using flashcard apps that will allow you the capacity to be able to build your synonym and antonym knowledge, to be aware of them and be able to recognize them very, very quickly. This will come from using flashcard apps that are available online, or I have my own available app that is full of IELTS related words, phrases, and expressions that are built on the most key common topics. And if you would like access to that, there's a link below to purchase your own flashcard apps to be able to build up your knowledge. Second step is to practice your reading exercises as often as possible. This will also bring an ability to identify synonyms and antonyms and patterns that begin to appear in the ways that the questions are formed by the examiners. Repetition is absolutely key to mastering the skill of reading. In addition to the tactics we've already discussed, you should be going through the text actively asking yourself questions. Active questioning is key for comprehension and to stay active and attentive while you're reading. It can happen that while you're reading through the passage, you get a little bit lost with some of the words or phrases, you start to get nervous or begin to panic. And the most important thing is that you stay active in the understanding of the text and you don't let your mind just switch off. That can happen when you're overwhelmed, nervous, or even frustrated with the text. So be careful to always keep a calm, relaxed approach and be asking yourself questions. What did the author mean by this word? Why did they choose this phrase? Why are they talking about this? What are they talking about? This is a key question that you should definitely be honing in on throughout your reading is what are they trying to say? What are they talking about? Why are they telling me about this? What's the problem? What's the possible solution? And what's going on here? These are great questions to be asking, to be understanding the key ideas of the text and not get lost in the weeds. Not get lost in the words that are difficult to understand and get overwhelmed and become too stressed. So active questioning is an absolutely essential skill to be practicing as you go through your reading material. It's important that you understand how to allocate your time as you go through the reading to make sure you have enough time for each of the sections. A good rule of thumb would be 15 minutes, around 15 minutes on section 1, around 25 minutes on section 3. This would be a great way to kind of have an idea of how fast you should be moving through each section, and that's going to give you a ballpark figure to be able to allocate your time and not get overwhelmed with one section, focus too deeply on it, and then end up losing section 2, section 3, and making more mistakes through losing points by not actually answering questions than getting one section extremely well completed. So it's really important that you allocate your time well, that you stay on top of each section, and you get an idea through your practice which sections seem to take you longest and which areas you can improve on your time management. Small, quick tip is skip really difficult questions. Allow yourself, if you can, 5 minutes at the end of your reading time to go back to really complicated or challenging questions. If you really read a question and you have no idea what it's talking about, then please give yourself permission to skip that one and answer questions that you do have an idea how to answer. Spend your time on 80% on those questions that you can answer, and then leave some time at the end to have 20% of your energy spent on really complicated or really challenging questions. That is a great way to not lose time and then end up costing you points in your exam.